the person
next
that
time you are
sent the
leaving,
person
next
that
time
sent
when you are leaving
the
Ghana,
person
next
that
time when you are
sent
leaving
me
a
to
country,
the
you leave
airport,
through
delivered me to the
departure.
airport.
You don't leave through arrival. Hey, people of the internet, I have in the house with me Joshua, and a lot have been happening lately that we really want to talk about. And before we start the video, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do it to subscribe to the channel because we want to hit 5K by the end of 3 months. And don't forget to also leave a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to like the video, especially who dressed very well today for the podcast. So you might have seen on my social media that I was in Ghana lately. I wasn't alone. If Joshua have not posted a lot because he intentionally decided not to post so that people will know that he has come back to Ghana, but he has that to answer. And so we went to Ghana, and after 8 years, because we've been in Morocco for 8 years, we came to Morocco which year? 2017 in January.
8th January 2017.
Yeah, we left Ghana on 7th January.
Yeah.
And we came to Morocco. Since then, we never stepped foot in Ghana. And then we were not, we don't know how Ghana will look like when we decided to go back to Ghana, because we planned to go back to Ghana immediately. We finished with our first year of an internal something, being an intern at the hospital. So the decision had to, we are men of our word, so we had to, go by our decision. So we finally went to Ghana. But then the most important thing is, transition, moving back to Ghana after 8 years. What were our expectations? What were the experiences?
You just make us speak ill of Ghana.
Yeah, no, you are not speaking ill of Ghana, but you are just telling the reality.
Okay.
There are some good side of Ghana as well I also enjoyed. And then basically that's that. So it gets interesting. We are going to structure it a little bit, so we know what you are going to talk about. So how did you feel after going back, staying in Morocco for so long and going back to Ghana? How did you feel?
Okay, in the beginning I was very excited.
Yeah,
I will not lie. But when we got to the airport, I was like, that feeling, that excitement, no, like it was kind of diminishing until we got to Kotoka. When we alight at Kotoka, they know Yunaba.
Yeah, Abba. So for me, I was in the beginning, I wasn't excited. When I planned to, go back to Ghana, I wasn't much excited. But when it was getting to the point of traveling, I was a little bit excited because, I get to see, because I never planned, plan to meet a lot of people. And a lot of people too were not aware I was coming back for that vacation.
We kept it hidden. So.
Yeah, because most of the time when you are going back home, people will say, send this thing back home for me and stuff like this, buy me this. So we tried to keep it low key. And so people in Ghana too were not aware that I was really coming back. So I wasn't expecting much. So in the beginning, I wasn't that happy all over the place. But getting to the moment of traveling, I was a little bit happy until I got, I landed in Kotoka. But then on our way, I experienced something which I thought I only see in movies, when people clapped when the plane touched, landed.
Okay, landed,
Yeah, and then I asked a friend, he said, for a plane, when the moment it touches the floor, the ground, that's the best part. That means that the pilot did very well. So, but then honestly, the pilot might not even hear people clap. So that was just by the way. So
first, let's not forget the mistake you started before we even get to the airport.
Yeah, what happened?
Where you threw your
my train ticket away. Yeah, that was very hilarious as well, because at that point I don't know if I should. I went to buy another.
You were agitated.
Yeah, I was. Like I said, getting to the traveling point, I was a little bit excited. So it happened anyways. But then there was something that when we got to the airport, there was a situation that I found myself in that I never took advantage of. You remember when that lady came to me, that the bag that I took was actually hers. Do you remember at the airport?
Yeah. At the airport, that was in Kotoka.
When we touched down.
And because we were having a similar bag. So
but then an idea came, because definitely the lady was a bomb.
Why?
She looks fine.
Okay.
And I think she was from the UK.
After she left, you were like, you take number or something like that.
I took the number and said, okay, you know something? I'm going home. If it happens to be your bag and I'll call Yeah. That was the line but I don't know, this kind of things really happened to me the moment I leave the place, because I take it along and keep thinking about it. And then also I wore Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy. So something came to my mind that what if there was an emergency on the plane?
Hey, you are a doctor, you have to act.
But I shouldn't have shown myself. Well, that shows that I'm confident though.
Yeah,
but like there was no need. I never thought of that too as well.
I wasn't even thinking about it. Even, we are all we are emergency doctors. So
yeah. So when something of that sort happens, you know how to take care of it.
Just even if they need to do emergency landing, I mean, they do.
Okay. Did you experience any reverse culture shock?
Yeah, I can say yeah.
Yeah.
Even the kids, you went home and then most of them, they were all grown ups, and then what we used to do when we were like at their age, everything changed. Yeah, you see some people, and do it like kids like the kids we know. Though I'm also a kid. Yeah. But then since I'm not married, I'm a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, but we went, and then let me just be frank, because I didn't really know much about my culture. Yeah, I wasn't much into it before I left Ghana. So
okay,
but then some of the things you just see, like, it was obvious. We need to know by these kids know that are back home. Most of them don't know it. They're just into I don't want to say the word.
Yeah, say it.
Yeah, it's okay.
They were back into what?
Yeah.
You've not completed your story.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
I don't need to tell you the whole story. No,
so okay. Yeah, people changed, people grew up, and people got married, people gave birth, and people that I was older than, like, 7 years, 8 years, they all gave birth, 10 years, and I was surprised.
And then it be like you don't even know anyone again. You are alone.
Yeah. So there's this question that my uncle asked me, that he asked me, are there some changes that I have experienced since I came back after 8 years? Did you see any technology changes, economic changes, infrastructure changes?
Yeah, for my community, I can say a lot has changed, because most of the people, I don't know what they're into, but then I think most of them, their brain has, like, you can see most of the people, they were starting businesses, and then they were building like a lot.
Yeah.
Almost everywhere. When I got home, like my hometown, I got confused because I told the man I was going to Buse, that's my hometown, the driver, because I was confused. When I even got to Ewa, I was confused.
Okay.
So I told him I was going to Buse, and then we go to Buse, and our house is just in the road there. But we go to Buse, and then I didn't even see our house again. They've built a lot of story buildings, and then they even covered our house.
Story building.
Yeah. Buildings.
Buildings. Yeah, the same thing happened when I went back home. For me, the land, they sold almost all the land. I was even thinking that lands that are found in village, who cares about it? Yeah. But surprisingly, people bought it and they fenced around it, and they are willing to build hospitals and stuff on it. I was like, wow, interesting. And even my house, someone built a 2-story building. And you could see the house where I lived in when I was young, very small on the ground. And the community have not changed a lot. The same thing.
For my community, that's changed.
The fishing, it used to be a fishing community. So they do fish. So nothing have changed in that aspect. Just that they did complain that fishes have finished in the river. I don't know where they've gone to. They've scooped them all out. And the motorcycling business too is booming for them. And I think that's what most of the boys are into.
Frankly, I don't know where my people, they get the money from. And one time I was even thinking, and my mother was like, what are you thinking? I said, like, I saw things and then, like, I'm confused. What am I check, like, I'm wasting my life.
Yeah. Because, so the same thing, the same shock also happened to me when I went to Accra, and then I saw the room of my I would say my cousin, who's younger than me. I saw his room. I'm like, wow, interesting. Then there's much that I have to do, you know. That
you realize that you're wasting your life.
well. But then you never know. The bigger successes at the end, or the bigger victories at the end. So let's my mother told me. So just keep on schooling. All right. So how about technology? Technology.
Nah, nothing has changed.
The transport system.
I don't want to even start that. Let's not go there. If I start that, they'll say I'm speaking ill of Ghana.
No, but then it is what it is. It's the fact. Transport. Well, the technology that I saw that never worked was at the airport when we were coming back.
That it was touch was Ghana card.
The Ghana card thing.
E-gate, no. But it wasn't working when we were coming. We couldn't use it.
That's it.
Ghana card.
That's it. It couldn't work. So that was one technology failure that we saw. Yeah, but then that's a technology change that we should have seen working.
But let's talk about the transport.
Okay, the transport.
I don't know of the smaller cities. Yeah. But the bigger cities there, if you don't have your own car, it's better you don't go out.
You are speaking of Accra.
Accra.
Kumasi two parts because I was in Kumasi.
Accra.
Yeah. Why?
That trotro no there be too much. They have to do something about it. I don't know whether
Guys,
they haven't
trotro is
traveled or
actually a
something like
mini
that.
bus. It's a mini bus found in Accra that transports people.
Whether they haven't traveled about, they have to adapt some of this system. Especially, let me just bring them to Morocco. They should adapt Morocco system.
But well, there's an Ayalolo bus as well if you want to avoid it.
But we're having what's the name? Is it Kufo bus?
Yeah, that's the
But
Ayalolo.
still, it wasn't working.
But then we have the Ayalolo. You took the Ayalolo bus a couple of times.
But it's still the same shit.
Yeah, don't worry. You can shit on my podcast. I will.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So they have to do something about it. Not only the transport system, just the rules. The rules. They have to do something about it.
All right. Well, if you say so. Well, one thing I hate about the transport system was the fact that, well, the technology is poor in that aspect, right? And then the other side is that I'm a taller person, so I had to squeeze my leg in there, all right, to sit
I don't
in.
want to even talk.
And when you are going for longer journeys, you know the traffic.
Traffic.
And when aside the traffic, you know the noise.
Not
the noise,
pastors,
the noise, the pastors, the medicine,
Dr.
and everything.
Zainton.
Yeah.
One drug. That was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
And like, you see that one
Wait,
drug.
let's keep the funniest thing to the funniest part. So moving on quickly for technology, well, and then I realized that their data too was a problem. Buying data in Ghana, I spent a lot on
I will
data.
not lie.
I don't know what happened,
I
but
spent a lot.
maybe I don't know the system. I believe that now there are Wi-Fi.
No. I know that you don't know. That was the system. There was not like, I would just buy it wasn't in a 10 gig for like 60 Ghana cedi. That's one week, right? No, okay, 3 days.
Myself, what I normally would do is that I'll tell my siblings, look, do me 5 CDs.
Until a friend, it was named bought that midnight bundle.
That way you have to sleep it.
And I'll just plus I'll use it that.
Yeah. For me, I normally would send my siblings and they'll buy it for me 6 Ghana. Then they'll give me, I think, how many, 1 gig or 2 gig or something. Then I'll use it for a while until I called you and I asked you, how are you dealing with this? And you told me about that. But then later on, before I left Ghana, I got someone to help me buy, something moderate. But then I left it. I couldn't finish it all. But I think it's a very big problem. But still, I don't know how people...
I'm wondering how people use the TikTok and
exactly.
Netflix account. I don't understand. Because when I went to, I never watched Netflix.
You never watched the Netflix? No, which I never did. Because why would I use? Even I had a video that I edited. I couldn't upload because there was a problem of what?
No, they have to work on a lot of things. Seriously. They have to work on
all
a
right.
lot of things.
All right. So how has the social...
No, we have to work on a lot of things. No,
Okay.
I'm inclusive.
You are inclusive?
Yeah.
All right. So how about the economy?
Hey.
Well, they are still working on the economy. Maybe you don't want to talk about the economy.
Hopefully. If not there, they will think, like we check like we are selling our country out.
So were there any unexpected challenges in adapting back to local customs?
Yeah. You realize that most of the people you used to relate with, then most of them they started families.
Yeah, so you can't.
So you kind of like you are alone.
Yeah, so you can't adapt.
Hey. Adapt to what again?
Yeah, because I remember I had a friend in Kumasi. So when I went to Kumasi, I was like eager to see this guy because he's one of my childhood friends and stuff, and even a family member. So I'm like, okay, when are we meeting? He tells me, today I'm busy. When are we meeting? So we realized that he has been busy for the whole week. The following week, the same thing. And we had to see ourselves during the latter part. And even if we meet, we can't discuss anything common.
Yeah.
There's nothing because they have friends. Sometimes you see them talking with their friends and you don't have anything to say because you don't. Yeah, and that's something.
No, but me, I was quite impressed. Most of my mates they were actually doing well. So I had to learn some stats from them, especially business stuff. So
of course. I also had the same encounter with a guy who was telling me that he's about to put up a how do you call it? Pure water company business and stuff. I'm having
friends that
I think they are moving forward.
We need to cash up.
That's why it's also important to go home once a while.
Think they're not doing anything, but hey, man, they're really working.
They're moving.
They're moving forward.
Okay, so now let's talk about family and relationships and friends. How did relationship with family and friends change over this year?
I don't think that, because most of them they were excited to see me, and then I was even hiding from some of them because I didn't want to to travel a lot. Because most of them they knew I came because when I go to them they were excited, and then they started calling me. Someone would say, oh, they heard I came to Ghana, so I should visit them. But I wasn't ready to room. I wasn't ready to room. So those that were
you afraid? Were you afraid that you get accident?
It's another thing because the roads were not good. Seriously.
Okay,
Because even the car I took, the bus I took from Accra to Wow.
Yeah.
Normally when I was before it used to be like 12 hours maximum. Yeah. But this one will be like 24 hours. You used 24 hours on the road.
You remember when I had to go and collect something for someone, they told me the bus got spoiled on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my staff.
Yeah. So so it's like that. It's like that. So for me, they were excited to see me, but I couldn't see all of them.
I wasn't ready.
I had to go to Takoradi, but I couldn't go to Takoradi.
But then the house was good. Yeah.
Of course. You know, you see your families, you see your siblings, you know, they prepare for you. Oh. Yeah, they take good care of you. Like a king. Yeah, they treat you like a king.
But you this.
Yeah, of course. So that was one of the best things that, you know, happened when it came to family and relationship. So was reconnecting with old friends and family easier or harder than expected?
Yeah, it was kinda difficult because most of them were just busy. Seriously. Because I can remember my best friends, my two best friends. One, he's in Kumasi, and then he came home for Christmas. But still, like sometimes if you just call you, he's coming and then later on, he said, there's something came up. He has to meet some this person. The other one, I called him, I asked him whether it was a money ritual. He was too
just put the microphone up.
It was too busy. He was too busy, seriously.
He was busy.
Yeah, but then when we met, we really enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
I was not like, it would be like, you there, you're a student.
So yeah, he's just dashing the money. I know, right? Yeah. So do you think of going back to Ghana to settle and work, you know, based on this experience?
Because apart from
the road problem, the traffic lights, and then electricity problems.
No, but I mean my area.
You never had them, so I had them so like twice or thrice.
I never had that.
But that was not as compared to first.
Work on their rules, their electricity and their internet.
Yeah.
Ghana will be a perfect place to settle.
be. Okay.
I'm telling you.
So you are hoping to go there someday.
Yeah, and go and change the health system.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
But then I would like to go there and also go and do some farming and those things because me I don't say our farm.
Of course. Yeah. Farming is important. It's important. Well, I also visited a farm when I went back to Ghana. I took coconuts. I went to the coconut farm to take some coconut.
I went and visited our cashew farm. It was quite impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. So comparing lifestyle, how does lifestyle in the home country compared to where you have been living, like here? Lifestyle.
Me personally.
Yeah, personally.
Because home before I left, most people knew I was a good boy, so I cannot do some of the things I do when people don't cause. I don't lie. But then, if you get home and most of our mates, they have settled and then they've started families, so you can't relate with them, and then you cannot relate with the young people too. Like some people you are older than them, like 6 years,
you can't have a conversation.
You can't have a conversation with them.
So
it'd be like you'll be alone. But if I'm in Morocco here, we are students. So
yeah, so the lifestyle, it's okay. Well, lifestyle as in spending, buying food outside, those stuff.
If I'm in Morocco here, you have to take care of yourself. But if I'm in Ghana, you don't need to take care of yourself.
So do you think it's expensive here in Morocco as compared to that? Because like rent, when I went there, I saw that rent was cheaper as compared to Morocco.
That one, they are not like. But if you come to food,
food.
The people that actually buy food, they were complaining.
All right, so what did you miss most when you went to Ghana? For me personally, it was all about the food, right? So I made sure I ate very well. And then was it the same thing as like you left it?
Food?
Or they've upgraded certain things. Like for instance, I used to remember that wache was bought in leaf. And still, there's some people who said they're watching leaves.
Actually, I used to be someone when I was in Ghana. I don't eat from outside, so I can't relate to that. But then
you remember when you bought the beans and then
I cannot even chop well.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of person.
That kind of person.
But then the food not there. It was the same. We just get up and my mother would be like, quack, 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 quack. Say yes.
What are you eating for today?
What are you eating for today? Your tea is ready.
I see. Yeah, of course. That's the question they will ask you all the time. What do you think we should eat for the dinner and stuff?
So it was interesting. Well, I'm very sure if I go home and I marry, I'll live like a king.
Well, I had the opportunity to eat wache. I ate. Ghanaians have a lot of snacks.
I tried to eat almost all the food I missed before I came home.
Yeah. And the plantain chips was something I ate a lot. So anytime I'm on the bars, the trotro.
Recently, I fought with
plantain chips. Yeah, plantain chips. And there are a lot of, fine yogurt. A lot. We ate fufu. We ate the benku. We ate, I don't know, I can't remember.
Yeah, the kumpani, everything.
Well,
the rice and number beans.
At the end of the day, it's what that comes with the fufu. You get it? Yeah. It's which kind of soup.
Yeah.
You know? And I really, really, really enjoyed when it comes to,
the actual thing is that if aside just the root, Ghana is sweet.
Okay, how did cost of living, healthcare, and education How can you compare the two?
Cost of living, healthcare to do that. But then, cost of living in generally is very costly in Ghana. It's very high.
I see.
But the healthcare, I don't know the NIHS, whether it's the work.
For me, in Kumasi, it was quite better because I happen to live in both cities. So in Kumasi, it's better. You could buy food, and then the food, it's a lot, but very cheap. But in Accra, it wasn't the case. Accra. But then I realized that the money has changed a lot. 10 dirhams was just like 10 Ghana cedis in Ghana. So spending it was like, you think a little bit about it. So you don't feel
but the thing is, say, if you just take 200 Ghana cedis in your pocket and then just try behind the house.
You buy a lot of things with 200 Ghana cedis in Ghana. When I say a lot of things as compared to you buy food. Well, I'm talking in the aspect of food. For instance, you get some food.
Well, that's why I said I don't buy.
You don't buy food outside. That's right. For me, I feel like over there, it depends. It depends. Transportation was expensive.
Very expensive.
Food,
especially in Accra.
Okay. Buying food outside is okay. Accra, of course. What do you expect?
So you guys have to get your own car.
How about the educational system? Well, a lot of people were
messed it up.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that now the education has been messed up.
They've messed it up.
Yeah.
That's why I say if you want to go into this thing, we're now speaking ill of Ghana, but that's not the case.
Yeah. Okay.
They've messed it up.
Now let's talk about the funny and unexpected experiences. Then after that, we will end the video over here. Yeah. So, did anything shock or amuse you when you went back home?
Me was people selling medicine in the trotro. One person will be like, Dr. Zantin, herbal. It treats almost all the sicknesses you can take up.
Yeah.
Some of the sicknesses are not even related. But then I started thinking, so like, what if these people knew the things I knew? Will they still be buying these drugs or not? Exactly. But then I don't want to sponsor someone's to business.
Remember when we were in the car going to Tema?
Yeah.
And then the doctor just got into the car and started selling. He started off with the carbon drugs. We all know that when you take something in and then you are not like a poisonous something and you want to absorb this thing, you take these drugs that has carbon in it. That was what he was selling at first.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he realized that people were not buying it.
Yeah,
then he switched to heart. It says it treats the heart. Yeah, it also helps in the kidney arrangement.
The hypertension, everything.
And a lot of stuff. And I couldn't even hold back my laughter. And I'm like, I was eager to ask him the question if he could explain how this thing happened.
You end up someone will just, and I will enter you. But then, that's the truth.
Yeah, because it's so risky.
Because
and eventually someone bought it.
People were buying it. But that's why I said, like, I don't know whether the people, they know what I know.
Yeah, like, and it's really bad because I've realized that Ghanaians have this way of selling it. First, they'll start with anything. They'll be like, okay, I am selling a drug. This drug is meant to help, in cough. Yeah. And when they realize that nobody is buying it, then they'll now switch it towards the popular problem in Ghana.
Some even as they're selling it, they're stealing people. So if they realize that someone is having that sickness, they'll just bring it down.
Yeah, they'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Erectile dysfunctioning, then they'll bring it up.
Our boys, they don't want to hear that.
Yeah, then they'll bring it up. And it's really, really bad. But then, it's funny too as well because imagining knowing all these things that you know and someone is trying to deceive.
Buy this, it will make funny.
And it's very funny. It's very funny. So where did you visit in Ghana when you went?
I was just in my Accra, Wa, and then Buse. And then by Buse, they used to go to like there's places around Buse with a motorbike.
No one spoke.
And then one thing that was also funny is like first before I came to Morocco, I used to ride motorbike. I still had to get back, and I went home and then I was going with my uncle B, and he was like, are you sure you are the one? I said, yeah. I said, the things I saw at the hospital, no, I'm not ready to die right now because I'm
of course. Me too. Anytime I take the car, I'm always afraid because you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, the road are bad and stuff like that.
But I was just in Wa, Buse, and then Accra.
And you remember when you got stuck in the arrival instead of departure? Going back.
I said that.
And you called me and you were like,
explained that to you several times.
I'm here at the airport. Where are you?
I explained that to you several times. The person that sent
a country,
the airport didn't know the airport.
You don't live through arrival.
The fellow didn't know the airport.
No one spoke of marriage.
Because listen, because I wasn't my brother was supposed to send me to the airport, but then he wasn't around. He was in Tokyo already. So my uncle asked a friend
to send you.
The fellow didn't know the airport. So, and it was at
So
night.
how about you?
It was at night. It was at
You
night.
have traveled through
It
the
was
same
at night.
airport.
So I just said, okay, let's go to where. What's the name?
Imagine you speaking where you got out from.
Let's
Going
go
to
there.
that place.
Let's go there, and then I can find my way. That's what I just talking.
Even going to the train station, you know it's not the same way you come through, it's the same way you go to.
FDG, you're making noise.
All right.
Okay, we are talking about marriage.
Yeah, no,
that one there was almost, you go and greet someone and the fellow be like, how's the wife and children? And I'll be like, you marry give me, you marry for me. And then I was having another, what's his name? Mother. She went and organized girls.
Seriously?
The council, then they visit their house. So
Seriously?
They be visiting the house. So any of them are me alike now. I should just tell her. I say, yeah.
You'll be seeing them.
I've been seeing them.
Wow, this is like Asian days.
I don't even know. I don't know who's whether they're still doing that.
Yeah, of course. It's a cultural shock. Me was the opposite. My uncle was advising me not to, follow girls. Let me focus on education. Let me do what is best for myself.
Is that advising to focus
and
on
I'm like,
education?
okay, fine. I'm listening. It is what it is, But meanwhile, this my uncle I'm speaking about, they have like 2 wives, 3 wives.
It's okay.
Well, that was just by the way. And then I think I'll heed to the advice when the right time comes.
Yeah. At this age, that's not advising to what's a live here, then you don't marry.
Anyways, that was just by the way. So thank you very much for sharing whatever you've shared. And a lot of people have seen that a lot is happening in Ghana because a lot of our friends
but they
would
need to work on their roads.
want to know how like Ghana is and
but Ghana is a very cool place to visit.
yeah, they should.
I advise my friends to go there.
You should
it's
visit.
Very good place especially dated December.
Yeah, the date, and we are lucky you went to when it was there. Because when I touched down the first 2 days, I had a party.
It was interesting.
Yeah,
I'll not lie.
It was. All right, so we've come to the end of the discussion, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And do it to subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. And well, yeah, we're back to our lives, and we hope that
back to
you enjoyed it as time goes on.
Oh, we are enjoying it. It's not that we enjoy it. It's just that it's very tiresome, even though we are enjoying it.
Of course.
Yeah.
As long as you are being paid.
Who is paying?
Why would you enjoy something you are not paid for?
Oh, we are enjoying it. We are enjoying it, even without money. At last, we get our certificate and go home.
All right.